summer light. Curtains sway gently by the window, and you're sleeping. Tender wind dancing on my skin makes me stay in bed a little longer to hear you breathing. Long for those quiet days when the hours drift away. Petals fall on the window pane as the clouds above float away. Evening comes with a fading summer light. Twilight air drifting through the window, and you're sleeping.
You said that you're just being honest, that there's nothing left. You said you're taking all the hits. There's someone easy to forget, but that's not how you come off. trying to be soft. There you are, as right as the rain. Not a thing that you need to change. I can't make you see my way, but I want you to. You said we're only getting older and closer to the end. You said it's only getting harder to hold on to a friend. But you are a sailor who's weathering failure. And there you are, as right as the rain, with more love than you can contain. I can't make you see my way, but I want you to. There you are, as right as the rain, with more love than you can contain. I can't make you see my way, but I want you to. skin likes your skin. Your scent draws me in. Hope you'll leave some behind whenever you go. Your hand seeks my hand. No, you'll leave me a mess, but I hope for the best. Don't know what you want. How can't you see what is right in front? Or is there something else that you need? 'Cause you might just lead me on. Please don't take me too far. If we'll be what never was.
I'll go if you go, and stay if you want. Your hand leaves my hand like it's nothing at all.